back in session. Continuing with financial business. Chief Blakey.
Members of the Council, I would respectfully request to transfer $40,000 from the debt account number 333112, the Deputy Chief's account within our budget this year, to overtime account 333-102, my overtime account. In my backup material, I explained some of my dilemma with staffing. I was also advised today that I might be losing another officer this year, so it's problematic. I'm not making excuses. I do take it seriously, and during the winter storms, they've canceled leave, and officers seem to be taking more of overtime than comp time, which they have historically, as I explained in the backup material. I am monitoring it. I have a detailed account of all overtime, but that's where we are right now, and we're also going to address trying to reduce some of the hours in dispatch as well, as you see further in the this evening's business.
Not yet.
No, where's Jim?
Where's Jim?
Went into his office.
Is he coming back?
Why?
I assume he's coming. Has to set up something for executive session.
All right, so Chief, your remaining budget and overtime only has about 11.7 in it?
Correct.
And what do you anticipate?
My problem is that May and June are my problem months, because people inherently save their overtime, their vacation time for and personal days, etc., when the good weather gets here. As I just stated, I have one officer leaving in May. He's already expressed that. And I've been told that another officer is also taking exams for a larger department. Also, I'd like to comment in that we currently have, although we do have people that we do lose people, academy trained, we currently have 5 individuals we do employ that we were able to get who were academy trained. So I don't want to say it's a balancing act. It's always tough when you lose good personnel. And now with the new state mandates, it's problematic of trying to get people trained. If I put people in the academy in June, I won't have them cleared for the road until, as I said before, March of 2014. With minimum staffing issues, this is creating a serious drain on my overtime account.
Anything from any of the councilors?
I think what I just heard you say is that 40,000 will get you over a hump, but it might not be the hump.
I would say it might not be the hump.
Okay.
I will tell you this, I'll do every effort I can to
absolutely.
maintain within my actual budget of this year with transfers.
Maybe we'll do what we gotta do.
Yeah, just a quick comment. The chief normally does a very good job of monitoring his overtime, but as you see in the letter, all the items that have happened this year, from time to time, these items will happen. And one year is not going to be the same as another. Okay, and this year has been a very difficult year, as you can see with all those issues. So I would recommend that this money be transferred.
Any other discussion? I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to transfer 40,000 from account 333-112, Deputy Chief, to account 333-102, overtime. All those in favor? Unanimous. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Fell asleep.
Steve Bucci, DPW Director.
Hi, thank you. We have a landfill operator that has been out on workers' compensation for a while now. Prior to that, we had an employee out on long-term disability. When that employee went out on long-term disability, we took the funds that weren't being paid to him, and we hired someone out of the Teamsters Hall to replace him temporarily full-time. That fella came back, and now we have the landfill attendant who's out, so we're just kind of rolling that temporary full-time Teamster into that role, not necessarily at the landfill, but into that payment role of, so basically, it's a replacement of the funds from the landfill account for the payroll into a regular operating account for our DPW workers.
Jim?
Yes, I recommend that this be approved. It's a situation where he has also this year had two men out for a substantial period of time. And we were able to salvage some of the work by going to the Teamsters Union Hall to get a replacement who has worked well. But obviously, when the second man returns, he will be let go, sent back to the Union Hall.
Anything from any of the councilors?
I just have a question. It says, this is to cover projected shortage due to raises, which were not accounted for in the 2012-2013 budget.
Oh, okay, that's another one. All right.
That money will be forthcoming.
That's what this document, maybe I have the wrong one.
No, you don't.
That's the right one.
No, that's the right one.
Was it the right one? Okay, is that one submitted by Jim or?
That's from you.
From you?
No.
There's a memo.
So is the reason incorrect on this
All
one?
right, okay, yeah, I'm talking about another one that's going to be coming your way, so I thought that's what was in front of you there. But it's a continuation to make up for those payroll deficiencies that over several reasons didn't make it into this year's payroll. One had to do with raises that were given prior years that weren't funded, and then there was increases on those. So it's kind of make up for a balance that was missing in this year's payroll, and fortunately, we had the funds to make up the difference.
Okay, I'm confused.
Okay,
Yeah,
let me try to explain this, okay? The money is there, it's just in a different account.
Right.
Okay, so what we're trying to do is keep the books straight and transfer from the 554 account, or from the 553 account to the 554 account.
That's not why we're confused. We're confused because we just discussed something completely different.
Right. And I was just following the discussion, but obviously it was the wrong discussion. This one, okay, as you see here on the back, is just transferring from the landfill payroll account to the regular payroll account, the DPW workers. The funding is there in total, but it's in the wrong accounts. So we're just balancing the accounts.
Okay, but I think the question is, when it says to cover projected shortage due to raises which were not accounted for in the 2012-2013 budget. I think that's the question. Now, either the raises were accounted for and budgeted and just put in the wrong account, or they weren't budgeted, so in essence, the dollars weren't there.
If they were not budgeted, okay, the money is still available within the DPW to cover them if they weren't. So I think the issue is more so where the funding is in which account.
But Jim doesn't answer the question. The question is, and again, maybe I'm not understanding this. You're saying there were raises that were not in the budget. Just let me finish.
Yes.
So you're taking funds from another account to cover those raises?
Yes.
Okay. My question to you, Jim, wherever these raises were they in the budget? Were they just put in the wrong account, or did we not approve those dollars for raises?
We approved the contract.
Yeah.
Okay, which included raises.
Okay.
Okay.
And that usually comes out of council contingency.
Or future needs.
Or
Future
future
needs.
needs, right.
if it's required.
Right. Okay. So, but you're not pulling this out of future needs
No, I'm
because you
not.
have it in the
Because there
landfill
are other
account?
funds available.
Okay, that's the clarification
So
we
is
need.
this because we signed a contract after the budget cycle, but it went back?
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
first
Or
year
it
was...
went,
yes.
it was the
That's
year
what-
we
that's
were
what-
in,
that's
not
what- that's
back.
what's
Right.
happened.
That was
And-
retroactive.
Yeah.
And in this year, we funded a 2% raise,
Yeah.
but really, we got hit with a 4% raise because it was retroactive from the
Because,
year
yeah.
before. So
Okay.
that's what this particular one is all about.
Okay.
When was the
Did
contract
technically
given?
miss a raise in this budget.
Now I-
A 2%
now I
raise in
remember
this
what's
budget.
going on.
Okay, now it makes sense, but when you read it this way, it didn't explain where that came from. Okay.
When was the contract given?
I'm sorry, when was the contract?
Given? Signed, I should say?
January?
It was effective July 1st of 2011
Was it 10?
or 12? 11?
11.
Because it's coming due
It
again.
was-
Yeah, because it was
a
11,
long
12,
time
12,
after.
13.
Okay.
It's coming due
So,
again.
Expires just June 30th.
No, that's the issue we used to have with the contracts, because when they went on beyond, and so when we finally settled, we actually had to settle for the year that we had actually passed.
So we
So
signed a
that's-
contract for the year we were in while we were in the year, but half the year had already passed, or more than half the year had already passed.
Like, I believe this contract, if memory serves.
No, we did.
Was signing,
The older
was signed
last year.
in November, but it was effective in July.
It always
Previous.
goes back.
It's confusing, but it always goes back.
So why wouldn't it have been budgeted for if it was signed
Because we
within?
budgeted in the previous, we were
Year.
Because we were
budgeting,
already in the budget year, we were already in the budget year. It would have been approved prior to our signing the agreement.
we're budgeting 20 months ahead, 18 months ahead.
And then we signed contracts 8 months behind.
Right.
But hopefully going forward, that will not happen. That's one of the reasons why we're trying to get all the contracts going forward and not looking back.
Ridiculous cycle, but. Okay.
There's no further questions. I will entertain a motion.
Yeah, I will move that we approve a transfer of $4,400 from account 553101 to 554101.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay, motion's carried. Okay, Councilor D. Maderis.
That item is just put on there every meeting just to see if there's any updates you'd like to fill us in on concerning the budget. But now that it's
gone to the budget committee.
there's probably nothing. No, nothing.
Okay, new business, Councilors Gerlach and Pelletier.
Sure. So, this is, I'm glad that we have the time to talk about this. So, ever since this council got going, I think we've heard from time to time concerns in the broader local business community in the need to continue to bolster our local economy, support local businesses, both those existing as well as those new ones that may come in. And so, of late, there's been a bit of press on this issue. And so in talking with Councilor Pelletier and the Economic Development Commission, we thought it would be a good idea to turn a new chapter between relations between the council and the local business community, and try to engage them in a public forum so that we can start to better understand what's on their mind, understand concerns they have regarding the town, the broader economic development, economic environment, and frankly, create a forum that, really demonstrates that, the council and the Economic Development Commission is indeed interested in what they have to say. So we would like to move forward with scheduling a workshop co-sponsored between the Town Council and the Economic Development Commission that we would invite all businesses in town to participate in speaking with Mr. Schmidt at the Economic Development Commission. If the council did approve this workshop, we would then use the April 11th EDC meeting to discuss the details, figure out logistics, come up with some potential dates in which to have this, so on and so forth. Brett, I don't know if you have anything to add there.
No, I think that's pretty much where we stand.
Is the 29th slated for a regular meeting or a workshop? April.
We have board for council workshop.
I have
You're
an
talking about,
override.
oh, I'm sorry, April 29th.
April
I have
29th.
override of the yacht meeting. That's what I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we're having
Spillover,
a
We had,
spillover.
in case it had to.
Right.
Yeah, in case that to
Right,
continue,
because
right.
it's
On
the 10th.
Right.
Right, so it's just open.
It's an open.
It's a continue.
Big
difference there between override and spillover.
Spillover. Does that sound better?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just
override.
guessing.
I mean, I suppose, I don't know how long it would take between, when we talked to Scott and Len and those guys on the 11th. Yeah, it might take a few weeks, a month to advertise and to go through the legwork. This isn't something that's totally foreign to the EDC. They've done one of these that I know of about 3 years ago, and there was one on the books for about a year and a half ago, which didn't end up happening. But so there is some amount of legwork already done. I don't know that it would take a terribly long period of time to advertise and promote and get an agenda and get the word out to businesses. And,
So, either late April or May.
I think based on our current schedule, and I think especially with the yacht club, not knowing if that may continue, I would suggest that we make it mid-May.
Well, May 13th is a council
Your
meeting.
your
so
yacht
we
club
discuss-
meeting is on April 10th,
Right.
and the EDC is on April 11th, so you'll know well whether you're continuing
Oh.
by the time
Oh,
they
that's a good point.
meet.
Oh, I can guarantee you we'll continue.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we want to make it an opportunity for a less formal, type event, I think, and certainly not sandwich it in with any other agenda items, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I would suggest at the April 11th that we schedule for some time in mid-May. That way there could be no potential conflicts.
It would be May 6th or May 20th on council Monday.
It doesn't have to be a Monday.
It doesn't have to be a Monday. That's right, yeah.
You want to wait till your 22nd meeting to schedule it? And then get feedback from EDC
Right.
by then?
Yeah.
22nd is the meeting after the 8th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, unless we could
don't
come to the
schedule it
table.
on the 22nd?
Yep.
To schedule, and by then you'll have heard back from EDC?
Yeah, and I mean, on the 12th, we'll know.
Yeah, if we've got a
Tied up
conflict.
with some of these, the yacht club may take a few meetings and
Sure.
may not. And the FTR, so that.
Yes. Yeah, we've got them both in the same, yep.
Yeah, I mean, we can figure out the scheduling. I think it was more about making sure that the council supported, moving forward in this fashion.
Okay.
Such
Yeah,
an
I would
event.
support that. I can do my part. I know I have quite a few friends that would own some businesses. I actually work with someone's son who owns quite a few businesses in town, and I have his personal contact information. He actually contacted me about what the direction the town is going in this fashion. He's very interested in staying in the town. He's invested a lot of money here, and he wants to invest more. So I can let him know as well that we're planning this, and I'll give him a date.
You know, I know the last one was fairly well attended, and it was a good reception. It was more of a presentation of the EDC, what, you know, Tiverton, I think it was Tiverton is open for business. I think Sally was there. Yeah, so this wouldn't.
We had Keith Stokes. as a
Right,
speaker.
right. So this would have less food and less Keith Stokes, but the same kind of atmosphere that we can exchange ideas and talk about what's what.
Yep.
All righty, so that will be on the agenda of the 22nd. Okay, Chief Blakey.
Mr. President, I would respectfully request to advertise to hire full and per diem communications dispatchers. That would be contingent upon the budget being passed, and we'd basically look for per diems until which time that we have a budget, and worked with Mr. Gonso to work with the union contract in that area to set duties for full-time employees.
And this is all contingent on budget approval
For the full-time, yes.
for the full-time.
Yes.
We have two additional CCOs in the budget, and if they get passed,
Right.
we'll be in position to employ them. If not, different ballgame.
Okay. All right, any just questions from council?
I'd happily move that we approve Chief Blakey's request to advertise position of police stroke fire emergency dispatchers, both, is it both full-time and per diem?
Yeah, one full-time and two per diem.
Thank you. One full-time and two per diem.
Actually, it's two full-times.
Two
Two,
full-time
sorry,
and
sorry.
two per diem.
Sorry.
Right.
I think you just want to advertise to create the list, because
Yeah.
you can't advertise if you don't have the funds yet.
Right.
So just to create the list, so you have a list ready.
It's to create the list. I would go forward with hiring per diems now. It's a training process, and we could actually pick full-timers from per diems in the future if the ad is placed that way.
Mhm.
And we'll have a chance to look at that person and get them trained.
We'll advertise for a list, you can hire per diems from it.
Right.
Yeah, and the full-time will be based on whether or not the budget is approved or not.
Yes, sir.
So do you want to modify your motion, Brett?
I don't think so. But I will defer to council. Do I need to modify my motion?
Can you repeat the motion, because I was just checking with her on what the...
To approve Chief Blakey's request to advertise for the position of police, fire, emergency dispatchers, 2 full-time and 2 per diem. I suppose I don't need to enumerate, but,
Yeah, I would just say per diem and/or full-time.
okay.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second, all those in favor?
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Town Administrator.
G3, I'd like to pull from the agenda.
Okay, that's being pulled. Councilor Pelletier.
Website update. I just want just a status update. I know the last we talked about this, we were hoping to get the state folks in by February or something, or hopefully, but that didn't happen because they must have been backed up.
Right, well, we have had them in.
Oh, good.
We have had them in. We have been working with them. I had a meeting with them, the initial meeting with them, with David Robert, who is in the back there. Good. He is undertaking the project of getting the site ready with them. Okay, and he will be talking, if he hasn't already started, talking with some of the department heads to get their input. And I'll let him give you the details but we're looking for hopefully a start of July 1st. And-
Launch date of July 1st?
And, yes.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, he will be the webmaster, working on the website.
Great.
Mr. Roberts?
Good evening. Yeah, I did meet with them along with Mr. Gonzalo for our initial meeting. That was probably approximately 4 weeks ago. I met with them at a subsequent meeting at their offices in Providence about 2 weeks ago. The discussion at that point was they have 4 or 5 templates that you can choose from. They're all basically the same, little nuances here and there. So we ended up having a meeting with them, deciding what template would be best for the town of Tiverton. They are going to design a beta site for us to review once they finish that template. At that point in time, we will have further discussions, not only with the department heads about content and navigation, but I do envision that I will bring it to the town council for any input that you guys may have. At that point in time, when I did have a meeting with them 2 weeks ago, they informed me that once we decided on the main navigation page, that it would take them about 2 or 3 weeks to finish their end of it and get the template. I did forward to them the main navigation page, the links that we would want on there. And when I did send that to them, their main contact person, the web developer for the town of Tiverton, she got pulled onto a different project, so she said that our site is going to be delayed by about 2 or 3 weeks. So at this point, I do envision that we probably will have that beta site available for review probably the 2nd or 3rd week of April.
Thank you.
Just a question while you're here. Dick, in this process, was there any, the back end is what I'm sort of looking at now, is that we have this email server and whoever hosts our website. Is that being covered by this migration as well, or is that something we have to figure out on our own?
No, the current site that we have right now is being hosted by a company called Boston Location, and they host our website plus the ri.gov email addresses the town has. We have been paying them somewhere in the area of $95 a month for those services, which only gave us a certain amount of space on their server a few months ago, and we only were allowed a certain number of email addresses. During this whole conversation about changing over the website to RiGov template, I got in contact with them and I negotiated a price of around $39 a month that will give us unlimited space, although that issue had been addressed a few weeks ago where we did get the unlimited space, but now we have unlimited email addresses as well that's be available. So we're going to have, roughly a savings of $55 to $60 a month on the hosting and the email aspect of it.
Okay, good.
I just have a quick question, Dave.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Sorry. What's required for you to actually make updates to the site if you're going to be the webmaster? You need software down here, or is it just
Yeah, we're going to
web-based?
purchase Dreamweaver, which is the
Okay.
software that ri.gov utilizes, and I believe that's somewhere around $200.
How do you push updates up?
It's just FTP.
FTP?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Thanks, Dave.
Good night.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bids and requests for proposals.
Area 1.
Good. Town administrator, items and announcements.
At the Senior Center, Thursday, March the 28th at 10:30, there's going to be a Social Security representative. So if anyone has any questions on Social Security, they should go to the Senior Center this coming Thursday. Amicable Church, on April the 6th, is going to have a 5K walk/run. Runners are to assemble at 9 o'clock, and 9:30 walkers, and that would be at Four Corners. I'll be going before the Pension Study Commission on April the 1st to address their concerns. That's it. Thank you.
Okay. Council announcements, comments, and questions. I have something I want to just make people aware of. I have a letter is written to our congressional delegation from our state delegation, and it's to dear Senator, dear Congressman. And we write today to request your assistance in allowing the Rhode Island Public Transit Authority to receive a waiver of insurance for interstate travel. Our constituents in the East Bay, primarily Tiverton and Portsmouth, are looking for public transit to the state line in Fall River, Mass, so they can connect with the Southeastern Regional Transit Authority, SRTA. We have spoken with the RIPTA staff, and they have informed us that in order for this to occur, they need a waiver from the federal government allowing them not to carry insurance. RIPTA, as you are aware, is self-insured. For them to carry insurance beyond their own would be cost prohibitive and would effectively kill any sort of connection to the SRTA system. The staff of RIPTA has told us that they would only drive into Fall River, Mass for approximately a half mile to make the connection and turn around their buses. Our constituents have asked us to help them in this effort, so we respectfully request that you seek this waiver on their behalf. Please feel free to contact us if you have any questions or need anything further. And it's Representative John G. Edwards, House District 70, Representative Dennis M. Canero, House District 71, Senator Christopher Antiano, Senate District 11, Senator Walter Feelag, Senate District 10. And this was sent to Senator Whitehouse, Representative Cicilline, Representative Langevin, and Senator Reed. Thank you.
And I have...
Yes.
I have one item. Cassett Hill Cemetery Commission is doing their spring cleanup at the cemetery. There's rule number 5 for section 6000 that has requirements for certain articles that can be at the grave sites, but for the most part, articles need to be removed from the grave sites in section 6000 by April 15th, so that they can complete their spring cleanup. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I just have one. Just wanted to make a note that the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Newport was a week ago, and Ed and I marched, and it was a good turnout this year, and we got a lot of nice compliments, and some of the representatives from the police department were there and the fire department, which was nice to see. And I hope next year we can have even more representatives there, because it really is a great opportunity to showcase some of the great things that Tiverton has to offer. And it's nice having that conversation with folks from all around the state. There's a lot of great opportunity for networking. It's not all just teenagers throwing things at you. So I encourage everyone to march next year. It's good exercise as well.
Yes, I have to agree. The parade really was a great experience, and we got to meet other council people from Aquidneck. Got to talk to them, especially about other things that we all have in common before the parade, and it was very good. And one of the things is when you're walking down the street and waving, and people yelling and screaming at you, at least if they're yelling and screaming at you in a nice way. So it was greatly appreciated. Okay. All right, Town Solicitor, items and announcements.
I have an update on the Town of Tiverton versus LAL Construction. Do you need a background on this, or just an update?
No, just an update.
Okay. There was a consent order that was entered into between the town and the defendants, which effectively ordered that the defendants, who are all of the operators at that address, cease accepting recyclable materials. because that is a process, they were allowed 45 days to effectuate that, and the order remains in effect during the pendency of the litigation, so until there is some resolution. In exchange, the town agreed not to seek to restrain them from engaging in the other operations that are the subject matter of the litigation, namely the composting and the quarrying. And just as a point of clarification, the restraining order that the town sought did not apply to those. The agreement was just to not then go ahead and do another request for a restraining order. And the judge put it down for what I would call a control date for April 26th, so that if there has not been compliance by that date, we already have a hearing set up. If there's compliance by that date in accordance with this agreement, then that date will simply pass. In addition, the defendants got an extension of time to answer. Normally, it's 20 days from the time the lawsuit is filed. They have till April 20th, which would be an additional 30 days. Something of this size, it's not unusual to get that type of an extension, just so that they can prepare whatever response they're going to prepare. They may have their own claims. I would only be speculating, but that's not an unusual request to get an additional 30 days. It's not an extended amount of time.
To respond to the consent order?
No, the consent order
right,
is...
okay.
That's in effect.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that's what I thought I...
And this particular one is not entered, but that's really just a clerical function. The clerk has to send us back the signed
Stamped
one,
copy,
but
yep.
she hasn't done that yet. So, but the agreement, both parties have signed, and so the agreement is effective as of, I believe the date was March 1st.
March 1st.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
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 And the non-quit school update, there was an extension to the purchase and sale agreement to March 28th. This week, that's this week, Thursday of this week. So there has not yet been a closing on that.
Okay. All righty, town clerk.
Just two quick announcements. Would you like me to send acknowledgement to our state reps and senators that we received and appreciate their letter to congressmen?
Yes.
I think we're trying to keep legislators closer in the loop on some of this stuff, so
Yep.
I will send out some acknowledgement that we appreciate the fact that they are working on our behalf there. And just to let you know, I will be re-advertising for the harbor master, because we only received 2. I just want to keep it so you know, someone else. We only received 2 applicants, and per charter, the personnel board feels they have to send 3 candidates for whether or not. So we will re-advertise.
What happens if we don't get any more?
Well, I think
Okay. I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah, in good faith, we've gone after it, so, yeah.
this time I'll put it in the form of paper as well. It's costly to keep.
Okay, Mr. Lambert, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we go into closed executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 424655, disposition of town-held property, Ray the non-quit school.
We have a motion?
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
And stay in closed executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Statute 42465A6, prospective business or industry, Ray the Industrial Park.
Second.
We have a motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.